Hello everyone, in this episode we want to teach you different way of animating character and running animations with code. First, from Windows section, add Animator and animation to the scene. Now choose player and make all of its position 0. Then create an empty game object. Then reset transform section of empty game object and make it the parent of player. You may ask why. I will tell you the reason ahead. Click on parent game object and create a new animation from animation window. Name it whatever you want. I will name it player idle. You can animate the character in different ways, like birthing animation. It depends on character actually. For example, sometimes our character has only one sprite. Sometimes it consists of a small number of sprites that are connected to each other. Sometimes it has many details and many connected sprites. In the first part, we want to learn how to create birthing animation for a one sprite character. For this, select the player, then click on record button and choose a frame. I choose 20th frame. In this frame, I drag the character down a little from the top. Now I copy first frame and paste it in the 40th frame. Now if you play, you will see the character is birthing smoothly. In order to make the birthing of our character a little more natural, in 20th frame, I drag it a little from the left and right. When you play, you can see the character birthing is more natural. If you remember, at the beginning, we said that make the player child of another object and give the animation to that object. Why? Because if you want to move your player when there is an animation like position animation on it, the player will not move in the game. Why? Because animation has priority over everything. But when you have given the animation to the parent object and move the child of object, this animation will be played in the child. Then we can move our player and the animation will be played properly. Sometimes the character is more complicated and can have more animations like running, breathing, hitting with axe, etc. One of usable methods is to divide the character into different parts. For example, one part is character legs, one part is upper body of the character that includes the head, and another parts as you can see. Now click on the parent of parents game object and create a new animation. Specify the location and name it as you want. Because this is a fight animation, I name it fight. For fight or hitting with axe animation, choose a frame, for example 20th frame, and press record button. Then choose a part of character that you want and rotate it by changing Z of rotation section. In order for character's hand to return to its default position, copy the first frame and paste it in the 40th frame. When you press play button, you will see the character is hitting with axe, but this animation is so fake. To make it more natural, you must animating another part of character's body, like its head. For this, select character's head, then after pressing record button, at the 20th frame, change Z number of rotation. Again, for character's head to return to its original position, copy first frame and paste it at last frame. In order to make the animation look more beautiful and natural, some other parts of the character's body need to be animated. I do it myself, so that we can see what the result will be. Don't worry, I will do it quickly. As you can see, characters hitting with axe animation has become more beautiful, more cheerful and generally more natural. The more time you spend on this, the more beautiful and better your animation will be. It is entirely up to you that how to move the character's body parts, how to move it up and down, etc. And of course, it comes with experience. In order for you to better understanding, stay with me to make another animation for this character, which is birthing animation. For this, create a new clip and name it idle. After pressing record button in the famous 20th frame, rotate the character's hand a little. I think this much is good. Again, Ctrl C, Ctrl V for first and last frame. after pressing play button, as it seems the speed is a little too high. For this, drag all the chains of the 20th frame to the 30th frame and also chains of the 40th frame to the 60th frame and play again. The speed is almost good. Now to make it more natural, let's rotate the character's head with this option of the Great Unity. Or change the number of rotation as we used to do. Copy first and paste at last. Since I said this sentence a lot, I don't have patience to say it all again. After playing, you can see the character's head is moving too. To make it more beautiful and natural, I'll shake another character's hand. Just rotate it a little in the middle frame and copy the first frame to the last frame again. Now play and see the result. Sometimes when we change the number of the rotation, it is needed that instead of rotating the character from center, character rotates from bottom or somewhere else. For this, click on the character's sprite and after opening a sprite editor, select this blue circle or the Sprite Pivot and drag it where you want to be the center of rotation like this. Now if you click on apply and rotate the character, you will see the character rotates from bottom. We have two animations, one for fighting and another for breathing. Let's manage these two animations to determine which one should be played at what time. For this, open Animator window. In order to understand this part well, it is better to watch our previous video, which is basic animation. There are two animations here. One is called fight and the other is called idle. For the idle animation to be our default animation, after right click select set as layer default state, then connect to transition between idle and fight. From parameters section, after clicking on plus, select int and give it a name. For example, do. First, choose the upper transition, set all fields to 0 and uncheck all boxes. Then click on this and change greater to equals. Then put 1 instead of 0. Select button transition and do all the things you did before. Just let 0 remain 0. Now as you can see, after playing, if do equals 0, idle animation will be played, and if do equals 1, fight animation will be played. Pay attention here, if I change the number of do, the animation will suddenly change from fight to idle, or vice versa. If you remember, in the previous video, we said that in this part we will teach you the duration settings. To avoid that issue, we have to use duration settings. For this change the number of duration field, note that if you uncheck this box, the lower field will be based on second. And if you check it, the lower field will be based on percentage. Uncheck the box and put half instead of 0. The function of duration is that it prevents the animation from jumping to the next animation and does it more smoothly. For example, if the character's hand is down in the first animation and it is up in the second animation, duration doesn't transform this at once and makes this hand move slowly. Now if you change the duration to 0 and change do to 1 or 0, you can see that the transition between animations is not smooth and it jumps. So duration's job is to smooth the transition between each animation and the next or previous one. Now it's time to see how to play the animations from the script. For this, create a new script and open it after giving it to the character. Create two new voids and name one of them as fight and the other one as idle. We use this one line of code to play the animation. Put the number you specified in the animator in front of do. Create a canvas and give main camera to it. Then right click on the canvas and create a new button. Now create two UI buttons. If you don't know UI buttons, watch tutorial above. Take a copy and place it on the left side. Click plus and give the main object which has a script to it. Then select fight function for fight button and select idle for idle button. Now you can see after pressing play button, if I click on right button, fight animation will be played, and if I click on left button, idle animation will be played. Now I want when I click on fight button, the fight animation plays only once. And then I want it automatically goes to the idle animation. That is, I press the button once, an axe will hit and it will stop again, and this process will be repeated. For this, click on this plus button and select trigger. Name it as you want, then click on upper transition and instead of do, put fight. In bottom transition, check the has exit time box and set the duration field to 0. Then put 1 instead of 0 in exit times field. Then remove the condition for this transition. This is so that when the fight animation is completely finished, the idle animation will be played. Now, do integer is no more needed and you can delete it. Open the script and instead of set integer, put set trigger and just type that script's name in front of it. Now, if you click on this button, the fight animation or any other animation you put instead will be played. This method was one of methods of making animation. In next episode, we will teach you how to create animation with rigging. Don't forget to subscribe us.